But where is the title? Hmm. Gosh, I haven't done a Facebook Live in so long. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get started. They've changed some things, but that's okay. So, hey, and I can't see. Oh, I see one viewer, but I can't see who it is, which is probably reminding me why I stopped doing Facebook Lives because I can't see. I can see Tina. Okay, great. All right, let's get into this now because I can see the light. I can see clearly. Okay, let's get into Happy New Year. It's been a long time, been a long time. All right. Today is my first day. Happy full moon in Leo. Today is my first day um, of class. Today is my first online Tarot 101, and it's the full moon in Leo. And I've just been like, I don't know, it feels like I've been in a cocoon. Even though I've been active on IG Live, I haven't been active here for lots of reasons. But anyway, I'm here. So let's get into these decks. So I was up until 3 o'clock this morning. I just got this wild hair up my butt because those of you, I mean, it's been so long, but I used to separate my decks by zodiac season. But it just, I don't know, I'm just in a little bit of a different vibe. So I'm trying to really ride out doing things seasonally. It's so exciting. I'm so super proud of you. You've been so busy and doing great things. Thank you. So I actually have been like slowing down for me. Like, yeah. So I've been busy, but then I've been taking breaks. So, yeah. But I'm super excited for my class and yoga teacher training and all those great things. But let's get into this shadow work because I really think that's also why I haven't been posting as much videos on here, certainly not on YouTube since last year. I like to go live on Instagram, but I'm definitely in a transformation phase. And so I want to share some of these decks for shadow work, but also for Black History Month. So let's do the shadow work first. I should have put that in the thing. So for shadow work and Black History Month, let's get into these shadow work ones first. So we have the Crow Tarot. You know, I like this deck. Um, it's one of my favorites, I guess you could say. It's not super dark. I've been eyeing the Murder of Crows tarot. I hear people like that a little bit better. It's probably a little bit more dark. But, it's wintertime. The crows are out all the time here. And so this makes me feel, you know, like this is a good deck for the wintertime season. And then we have our flowers of the night. So again, back to we'll do the crow first. So the crow is in the typical. Well, it's kind of interesting that it's a cross between a Rider-Waite deck. Some of these, are there any pips in here? People who took my Tarot 101 class, if you had signed up today, you would know the difference between a pip deck and a regular Rider-Waite deck. But I guess it is in the traditional Rider-Waite style. But but some of them feel kind of pippish to me, but not really, because this is a pretty typical standard Rider-Waite style, the Four of Pentacles here. And again, it's just like dark. It's not as dark as I think that the Murder of Crows will be, which I want. So yeah, but this is, it's fine. And it reads well with my other decks. So then we get into the Flowers of the Night Oracle. If you've seen any of my readings, you know, this is one that I use quite a bit. I love this deck because it's all about flowers, but it also, you know, it talks about the flower. Can't see that. And it also gives you a little keyword, a little affirmation. So this one I just opened up to is celebration, which is great. Celebrate good times, come on. And the flower is the Casablanca lily. And then it gives you the traditional name Lilium Casablanca. And then again, it tells you a little bit about the flower. It gives you an affirmation. I open to joy. Hey, that's really nice for the full moon of Leo. I open to joy, friendship, and unconditional love. So I love this for shadow work. Again, because it's dark, it's wintry, it's, you know, it's just like cool. I love the back. So this is a very nice deck that I will be using. Ooh, where's my favorite? So I have a favorite that I'm working with right now. I actually put it in this black bag because, again, it's like the shadow work for this has been on point. And I'm really leaning into these shadowy decks since Halloween. I'm really like, look at this. And you see there's the skulls in there. I love this deck. And it reads like a dream. It's called the Earth and Bone. And I love the way it feels as well. Who's in the chat? I can't see anything. I see 4 viewers, but I don't know who's who. So say hello to me so I can know you're here, so I can say hello back. Oh, I love this deck. I mean, look, it almost, you know, I have the, oh, I took it out. I also have the Santa Muerte decks. I have this, and I have the Santa Muerte Tarot deck, but it's at my house, so I don't have it here, sadly. But again, another deeply satisfying. I don't use it as much as I should, but I am going to use it now. It actually freaked me out when I first bought it, which is why it's been kind of just like sitting, but it's also has a lot of you know, it resonates with the shamanic practice that I was engaged in for the past I guess 3 years, almost 4 years, working with this amazing teacher named Jen the Rainmaker. She's amazing. And so what drew me to this deck was there's a lot of the symbolism, like Quetzalcoatl, that we use in our shamanic practice. That's also here, like Huitzilopochtli. We work with Huitzilopochtli. Hi, Betty. We work with Huitzilopochtli. Like I said, Quetzalcoatl. And so that's what drew me to this deck. But again, it kind of freaked me out. I bought it in I bought it right before my mother fell, as a matter of fact. And so, yeah, so she fell, she broke her toes. And so I didn't have time to really connect with it, because then she was in rehab, and just like all these things happened. We had nurses coming in and out. And so I think on some level, I associate this card with all that trauma and tragedy, and so I never really use it, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it this winter. All right. And then, and I just love this one. Oh my God. It's just, And it's so funny because it's like it has these dark images like this, like shelter, but then it's like a beautiful message: spiritual growth, revival, accountability, and healing. And so they're just very like I got one yesterday that was cage, and it was about breaking free from the cage. It wasn't like, so it's not what you think, right? And then you have sage here, and it says harmony, acceptance, calm, serenity. And I'm also coming out of like a series of health scares that were really nothing. Actually, I think it was just stress. And so I think that because I've been in that phase for so long, a lot of it is stress and probably just exhaustion and just like the panorama. I mean, let's just. So I'm just drawn to, I think, these darker, um, being confronted with my own mortality, um, and making peace with it. um, I'm not as afraid of these types of decks as I have been in the past. And I will continue. And, I'm saying these are my wintertime decks, but I don't know how long this shadow work is going to go. I mean, I'm usually doing some kind of shadow work every day. I mean, let's be honest. But intensive shadow work. So this is the animal spirit. Again, Kim Krantz. This is what I'm feeling. I have a couple of different. I have a Colette Baron Reed animal deck. I have the animal. I have a lot of animal spirit decks, but this is the one that's surfacing for the winter time. There's something mysterious, and it reads like, this is one of my favorites right from when I got it. I'm going to get her tarot deck too. This is the Kim Krantz. I'm going to get her tarot deck too, just so I can have the full collection, because I do like to read I like to have the whole collection now. I love this deck. And so this is the one that wanted to come out and be present for this season of, yeah. Then the other one. So this is by the same artist, MJ Cullingneck. I follow MJ Cullingneck. I follow her on Instagram. So I got this deck first. Again, it's crows, right? It's giving winter. It's giving cozy, dark, right? And I thought that the tarot deck was going to be like this. It is not. I've already showed you that one. But it's perfect for winter. And it reads, again, so well. I've had it for a couple of years now. And it doesn't play around, this deck, but it's not heavy at the same time. And that's the thing about these decks I'm realizing now. They don't have a heavy energy at all. And I like that. Even the Earth and Bone, you would think that it had a heavy energy, but it absolutely does not. Okay, so this one was a gift. This one was a gift from my dear sister, Ebony Noel Golden. And I used it a couple of times because I have the Kim Krantz archetype deck. But I'm gonna, this feels like very shadowy to me. And there's a lot of light code, DNA, for people who are into DNA activation. Who's not? Let's get into some DNA activation. And it's good. It's good. And so it's broken up into, maybe it's the guidebook. I like a substantial guidebook. Like this. Come on, y'all. Anyway. So this one is, it has the innocence, the the lover, the huntress, the mother, the queen, the sage, and the mystic. So those are the archetypes. And, I talk a lot about archetypes in Tarot because Tarot is all based off of archetypes. And an archetype is, and yet I have a hard time giving a full definition of an archetype, but basically it's like what you associate with certain ideas, personalities, like the mother. When you think of the mother, mother is an archetype, father is an archetype. So, yeah. So, see, lover. So, yeah. So, it has these shadows. Each one has a shadow. It has a light message and it has a shadow message. But I like it. I'm gonna get into this because this feels very shadow worky, and I have used this with clients before to let them know what archetype either wants to work with them or what archetype they're actually living into. So definitely another Black Moon astrology. So I have a couple of other astrology decks like the Luminous Oracle, and I have one at home I can't even remember the name of, and then another one that I really love. I can't think of the name of that one either. But those are very light. They feel very much, even though it's Aquarius season, they feel very much like spring and the futuristic side of Aquarius season. Now, this is interesting because the traditional ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. And this feels very Saturn-y to me. This feels very Saturnian as somebody who listen, I just had my whole world shook on the astrology podcast when I found out the way that I was taught to read the houses is, I'm not going to say it's incorrect, but it's modern. And I am a traditionalist. I'm a traditional Reiki master. I am a traditional astrologist. One is a profession, one is like a hobby. Me, it's still like a hobby. So I'm not a professional, but I am traditional. Shout out to my Capricorn ascendant. And also, I just found out because of the traditional way to read the houses, for those of you all who are interested in astrology, the way I was taught, it was like, okay, so I have Capricorn in the first house. So the way I was taught that Aries, because Aries, I was taught that Aries rules the first house. I was taught that the way that the houses are numbered 1 through 12 match up with the zodiac signs 1 through 12. So Aries rules the first house, Aquarius rules the second, Taurus rules the second house, Gemini rules the third house, etc., 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 right? That is not correct. That's only been within the last 100 years or so. And when I took my astrology class, Sam was explaining that to us, but I think I took my astrology class in the height of the pandemic. So there was so much going on. I couldn't really take it all in. And here we are now. And it was in 2020. Here it is now, 2023. And I'm listening to the astrology podcast. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's what the fuck. That why am I cursing? I was like, oh snap, that's what Sam was talking about. So the ruler of your house is actually the planet that is in the house, or if you only have a zodiac sign in the house, the ruler of that zodiac sign rules the house. So I have Capricorn in my first house. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is the ruler of my first house. Game changer, because I was like feeling like, oh my God, my chart is so heavy. I thought I had all these heavy house. No, it's nuts. And so I have Gemini in the second house. And all this time, I thought Taurus was the ruler of my second house. Second house is what you value. No, no, that's not right. I have Aquarius in the second house. So that means Saturn is the ruler of my second house as well. So the houses stand on their own. The houses have their own definitions. And so the second house is like what we value and things like that. And it never sat right with me that Gemini was there. That definition, it just never made sense to me. Now I realize, oh shoot, okay, so I have Saturn really my first house and my second house. And I promise you, it makes so much sense. Oh my God. Anyway, so so hence my and I have a Capricorn like ascendant. So it's like, so that is my sort of where my traditionalism comes from. If there's any area, I'm not traditional, but the areas that I am traditional have to do with learning and things like that. Learning and teaching. I teach from a very traditional way. But other than that, I'm not traditional at all. So yeah, so I say all that to say that this feels very Saturnian to me, right? So even though it's Aquarius season, here we are. Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aries. Hence me using this deck. Oh my God, I can go on such a rant. I pray that I don't go on rants in my class. My class starts today. It is 6 weeks. I'm like, I hope that I do not give these people too much work to do. My class is only from 1 to 2:30, and I'm doing a live Q&A with them on Thursdays because I know I like to rant. So I want to make sure that I am as clear as possible so that they're not like lost with all my ranting. All right, so that's this. It's good ranting though. It's good ranting. All right, what else we have? What else we have? Oh, no shadow work would be complete without the deviant moon. So for those of you who are watching, what do you think about these decks? I'd love to hear what you think. I have never used this deck for shadow work. I haven't used it a lot, period, because I have over 100 and something decks at this point. And so it's like, you can't read everything. You can't read every deck. But it reads very well. And so I'm going to see what it gives for shadow work. Deviant Moon Tarot. The writer, the creator, created these images, poor baby, based on his dreams that he used to have as a kid. Now, maybe he was going to other places. Maybe these creatures inhabit some other planet. But yeah, he basically took the things of his dreams and put them in a card. They show up beautifully online. I love that each deck has a different feel, but they seem related. They do. I like to read in families. That's why I like to have collections. Like my spring collection will be mainly based around my Ciolo Thompson collection, because they're very clean, they're very crisp, and it's really hard for me not to use those decks all the time because they're so light and airy and just delicioso. Roots and Wings, you are fall. We're not working with you. Then we get to, speaking of collections, so we have Kim Krantz' new deck. I think I'm going to go ahead and buy her new deck today and stop playing around. Well, this is her new deck. I'm going to buy her first deck, her Wild Unknown Tarot deck. This is the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. This is the Wild Unknown archetype. That's a lie. This is the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck. And I'm all about alchemy. And one thing about Kim Krans, honey, let me tell you, you gonna get a book with Kim Krans. Kim Krans is gonna Kim Krans is going to give you a guidebook, okay? Kim Krans is gonna give you a guidebook. And one of the things, this was love at first sight. I mean, I brought it with me to yoga teacher training in Costa Rica in November, and my one of my teachers had it too. And once people found out I was a tarot reader, I was doing reading tarot for students and teachers. Once they found out. But yeah, you can see it's very well used. And what I love about this deck, it is separated by the elements. So each animal, so you have the new people came in. Say hello to me. Let me know who you are. So you have it's earth, air, fire, water, and ether for spirit. So yes, Kim Krans she's a beautiful artist. And so this is all based on alchemy. I've had this deck now right when it came out. So I think it came out in the summertime. So I've read with it just a couple times. Definitely, this is definitely a wintertime deck for me. It's very complex. I'm very much into alchemy these days, intentionally. So it's very, very resonant with my vibe. Yeah, I love it. And it has like materials. It has the cosmic forces. So these are the different sections. The cosmic forces, the 4 colors, the 4 seasons, the 22 materials. And the 22 materials are like lead, tin, iron, copper. But she has, I think they're the Latin names for things, which again, it just feeds my Saturnian soul. And maybe it feeds something in my Sagittarius placement as well, because Sagittarius is all about learning and things like that. And so it just gives me what I need. And I have Sagittarius in the 12th house. So it's like, the 12th house is all about depth. It can be the house of undoing, the 12th house. But, so perhaps my tarot addiction will be the undoing of me, right? Because I have so many freaking decks. But yeah, so I love this deck. Along those same lines, we have her archetype deck. This one, during the pandemia, oh my God, I used this with my when I did my one-on-one coaching with students. We were meeting weekly, and so I would give them an archetype for every month. I had made a sheet of paper with them for them. It was like the archetype of the month, the crystal of the month, the animal ally of the week. That's how my one-on-one coaching is. So this one has gotten a lot of good use, this archetype deck. She's a beautiful artiste. I was watching this tarot reader last night. I didn't even want to talk about it. I like Kim Krans. Very unusual. Very collagey. Very good for shadow work. Okay. Oh. Speaking of alchemy, I saw this. This is the Hermetic Tarot. I saw this. I got this last fall, late summer, early fall, at a little store I happened upon in New Haven, Connecticut. And I knew from the box that I needed it because it's like the original. I can't go into the Golden Dawn today. It's too much. Let's just say, again, this is like a staple for tarot readers. Okay. This, because it has, you can see here, it has Venus there. You can see it has the planetary symbol here with the Hebrew letters. There's the Libra there up top for justice. It has the moon phases. So how do I even describe this deck? And so this is the Justice, and it says the daughter of the Lord of Truth. It has the yin and yang. And so this is like one of the very early iterations of what we now have as the tarot. Not the Italian, like the original. But this is when things started to turn, okay? And what's interesting, and this is the Princess of Swords. And swords has to do with thoughts and air. And this is the Princess of the Rushing Winds. And so this is like the early iteration of what we now know as the Page of Swords. So this is the daughter of the flaming sword, and this is fortitude. So this is like the strength card, an early iteration of the strength card. Very different. And when I first got this deck, I thought, oh, this deck is too much. I can't use this deck with people. I can only use it on myself for shadow work. I have used it in a couple of readings, and it's been actually quite nice. And I think it's perfect for shadow work. Again, very alchemical, right? And we have the Five of Pentacles. And so the Five of Pentacles has to do with looking backwards, and so you're not moving forwards because they're constantly looking over their shoulder. Oh, here it is. Perfect. So this is it, right? And so one of the things I find myself doing is I compare like this with this. I do that a lot because I'm also a tarot nerd, and I look for, similarities. And so it's interesting. And this is the Lord of Material Trouble. Isn't that interesting? Oh, I'm lying. My bad. This is the Five of Pentacles. My bad. So silly. So the Five of Pentacles. I was thinking of the Five of Cups. The Five of Pentacles must be on the other side. So in a traditional tarot, people are walking outside a church, and it's cold outside. It's snowing outside, and that's the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is like being shut out and things like that. So you don't really see that here, right? So it's fascinating to me. Yeah. And then it has the zodiacs and the planets in here. I mean, I love it. You've got Venus down there. You've got Virgo here. And you've got Virgo at the top. Right? The Lord of Material Gain. So this is the Nine of Pentacles. So Pentacles has to do with resources. So we love that we have Venus here, right? Because Venus is not just the planet of love, right? She is the ruler of Taurus, which has to do with financial gain, right? And so, ramble on. I just ramble on. I just ramble on. The theme of this needs to be ramble on. I just go on and on. All right. So now we're moving to, one more favorite. Threads of Fate Shadow Edition. I love this deck. I love this deck so much. It reads, of course, amazing. It's so beautiful. This is probably one of the first decks that I spent some money on. There's another one that's sitting in my the Moonchild Tarot. I really want that deck, but oh my god, I'm like, I don't want to spend $50 for a deck. Like, I don't. So I'm gonna have to like sell something and then I'll buy it. My students are emailing me. Yeah, somebody gave me a gift certificate, so I think that's how I'm gonna get the Murder of Crows, because I have a gift certificate for this store here, Mandazi, for people who are in the Connecticut area. They have good decks and crystals and things like that. So I think I've got like $30 left on it. I don't even know how many decks I got off that gift card. But I think they have the Murder of Crows there. But that Moonchild Tarot, you got to get off Etsy or something. It's expensive. All right, so there's that. Perfect for shadow work. Now, Black History Month. Let's get into it. Black History Month. I love this deck. It's absolutely stunning. I don't use it a lot. But, I mean, come on. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. The deck seems very mythology based. Oh, the Hermetic. It's based on Hermetic mysticism and alchemy and magic. So yes, mythology, magic, and all of that. Yeah, that deck is lit. I wish it had a better guidebook. I said that with such vim and vigor, but I do. That guidebook is just like not giving. Right? It's like, come on, y'all. Like, come on. We need more. But anyway. I mean, stunning. Look at that glitter. Look at how she glitters. Look at how she glistens. Look at how she glistens. And she reads so well. Look at this. Right? It's like, baby. Even though technically I don't like the way they read together, because I like for things to be also visually similar. So how this has the people call it the border, and then the thing down here. So ideally, I would have oracle cards to match that vibe, but I don't have it, so it is what it is. So I have to go with the glitter. And again, they read well together. So I love that for Black History Month. This is another one. Reads very well. And I'm going to be using this a lot because I'm going to Egypt in November. I'm going to be doing a retreat in Egypt in November. Like, not me doing yoga, teaching yoga at the pyramids, honey. Like, so, yeah. I'm going to be using this deck a lot this year. Because, yeah. And I'm going to start looking for a Kemetic yoga. Maybe I'll do that when I get off this call. Because I need to get into a Kemetic yoga teacher training so I can be ready for Egypt. I love it. Again, it is not the same. They don't feel the same. They don't look the same. But it is what it is. I feel like I was doing a version of this yesterday when I was doing my sun salutations. Interesting. Because I wasn't to the side. I was forward. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to take Kemetic yoga. And this looks like the feet positions look like triangle pose. Then, what else do we have for Black History Month? Oh, shit. I'm bugging. Of course. What was I thinking? Oh, God. How could I? How could I treat you like that? Oh, my God. Bam. She be bugging. This is the end. This is the end, my friend. Hoodoo Tarot. Yes. What I love about this deck is it has real people in it. It has real hoodoo figures in it. It has, because it's hoodoo, and hoodoo works with the Bible, and so it has Bible verses for the major arcana. It has like this. This was a real person here, Miss Robinson, and I can't remember. Is she Justice? No, Justice is 11. I can't remember. But it has real people. But this was a lady. Somebody had made her mad, and she did some hoodoo on them, and it didn't turn out good for them. It is what it is. Daughter of Baskets. So I like it. It reads well with a lot of the other decks I have. I bet you it would read very well color-wise. Colors. Oh, yeah. See? This might be the answer to my problems right here. This might be the answer to my prayers. What do we think about that? Do we think these read well together? Better than that Deviant Moon, I think. I suspect. Maybe I could use this for shadow work. I don't know. This is amazing. I know. This deck is the bomb.com. I know. I don't use it enough. I'm gonna use it. I'm using it. Let's look. Is that? Okay. So that's the hoodoo. There's another deck up there for Black History Month. But I'm not going to use it. It's the Orisha Tarot. I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to take it out. Okay. What else we got for Black History? Okay. What else we have for Black History Month? The Isis Oracle. We're keeping it real Egyptian, honey. We're keeping it real. Take it back. I can't believe I don't have. Well, I do have that African tarot, but they're not based on real people. So we got Isis. Okay, like obviously it reads amazing with the African tarot deck. The Egyptian deck. Stunning. You know, it's not a. I'm not going to say anything about Lana Fairchild because she makes some nice decks. What I like about this is that there are activation. There's like invocations that you can say and rituals in here. Again, a very substantial guidebook. I love the scarab on the back. Thinking about that reader that I saw this morning. He was like, anyway. Okay, so yes, that. We're using that. And then closing up the threads of fate. Oh my God. How can I forget? I don't have to get up. shut it. I'm bugging. Let's see. Where are they? Bring me my goes. Okay, so we've got African Goddess Rising deck. Listen. From the first moment I saw you, she reads. She don't miss. I did a podcast interview with a friend, and she wound up giving me a reading after I interviewed her for the podcast with this deck, and I promptly ordered the deck, like literally the same night. That's the kind of addiction I have. That's the kind of problem we're working with over here. She's gorgeous. Gorgeous. And what I love about this deck is also there are real people in here. And this is broken up into temples. So you have the Ancestor Temple, you have the Conjurer Temple, you have the Warrior Temple, you have the Shadow Temple, you have the Lover's Temple, and you have the Griots, and I believe, yeah. And then you have the Queens and the High Priestesses. And all of the temples are associated with the chakras. So you can't go wrong with this deck. So Black History Month, here we go. There's two more. This is shaping up to be quite a few more decks than I was planning on using, probably because I'm combining Shadow Work and Black History Month. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'll do a card a day for Black History Month. This has got to be my last one for Black History Month. Oh, but I have one more Shadow Work one. But this is my last one for Black History Month. Right? Lucille Clifton. So, this was another deck that somebody had that I liked, so I bought it. It's fine. I mean, it's Lucille Clifton. It's history, right? So, it's like, sometimes I use this as like a word of a day. I taught a yoga class last year, like in December, with my family when I first got back from teacher training, and I put this card out. Typically, I'll put a card out so that people can reflect back during the yoga class. So, like, I'll put an animal card out, and that'll be your animal ally to help get you through class. So I did that with this. And again, it's Lucille Clifton. I mean, she's one of our, greats. So I have to have her deck. Whether I love it or not, it's like, we gonna have it. And we're gonna use it. And that, I have one more. It is not people of color centric, but it is from a Black creator, and I love it. And it reads perfectly. Again, this I had with me during yoga teacher training. I have incorporated it into all my yoga. I've literally taught like 3 classes for my friends and family. And I do have my first actual yoga teacher class this month on the 15th. I'll be teaching yoga and Reiki, and I'll be doing yoga, Reiki, and Tarot for the New Jersey Coalition Against Domestic Violence for their staff wellness day. But anyway, so I would have people, same way with the animal deck, pull a card, remind yourself of this throughout the training, but I also pull a card for the theme of the class, and then I refer people back to the card throughout the class. This is a great deck. Created by Tarisha Clark. And I got this at my new favorite coffee shop in Brooklyn called Terrell and Coffee. That's a lie. Yoga and Coffee. In my neighborhood. I love it. And that's that. Oh, my last shadow deck. They had this at yoga teacher training. They had it out, you know. I like it. Again, it's roomy. We're gonna have it. Like, you know, it's just, the writing obviously is beautiful. Again, very on point. Very, very on point. One of my classmates had it, and I got it. My teacher had the Mystic Shamanic deck. I bought that, but we're not using that for shadow season, I don't think. Or did I take that out for shadow work? I think I did, actually. Yeah, I sure did. Yep. Okay, this is literally the last one. So this is the mystical... Yeah, the Mystical Shaman. Alberto Villoldo, Colette Baron Reed, Marcela Lobos. So I like it. It's fine. It's not very... Well, it reads well. It's more, actually, as I look at it, it gives me more of a fall feel. But it could be a shadow deck, actually. Yeah. Okay. That's what I have. That's it for me. Oh, one more thing. Let's see. Yeah, the Rumi deck starts with a poem by Rumi. I need to use this deck more. The writing is a little small for my eyes. But again, it's Rumi. I'm not complaining. And it's another Alana Fairchild. I think I'm gonna get her Kali deck also. Maybe I'll get that in the summertime because that feels very fiery to me. So, yeah, that's what I got. This one I decided. This is the Spirit Allies. I love it. I use it a lot, but this feels spring. I'll take this out in the spring. So we're gonna put this back in the box. Oh my god, so many decks. So many decks. All right, I gotta go. I have class in 30 minutes. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for commenting. And I'll see you later. Bye.